revolution in Iran is on its 26th day. Kind of unbelievable. Boy, I wish it had been swifter and faster. But here we are. And it looks like a lot of the assets that we've been waiting to be in place are already in place, um, militarily, uh, politically, diplomatically, economically, all the things that need to be just so for whatever might happen to be swift and effective. And what do I mean by that? Well, we know that the USS Abraham Lincoln is somewhere uh, in the Arabian Sea, or allegedly off the coast of the Middle East somewhere. Maybe it'll enter the Gulf today, maybe tomorrow, maybe it doesn't even have to enter the Gulf because we know it can obviously hit targets that are quite far away. Um, we know that politically, we've seen some big wins this week in the revolution and the people overseas who would like to see the dictatorship in Iran overthrown. We know that Trump himself said a number of things that are inspiring the people in Iran to bravely carry on their fight for freedom. And whatever wavering or dithering you think he might have shown in recent days, it's pretty clear that he has not fully backed off from the military option. In fact, I would say he has not backed off at all. And if you know how to read between the tea leaves politically, you could say he's much more on board with it now than he's ever been. Um, yes, he did say that he hopes no further military action would be necessary against Iran. And he said that, yes, he saved 800 or so, 837 people's lives being executed. How true that remains, given how things go in prisons in Iran, we don't exactly know. But assuming that they are all alive, that's wonderful. That would be great if it's true. Meanwhile, though, we're seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of people every single day being slaughtered wholesale in Iran. Hearing it from reports from people directly in Iran. Sources there tell me, and sources who have relatives there tell me, they're seeing just a butchering wholesale there. I can't say exactly where, but in one town in Iran, um, people in a market were just attacked and hunted like animals in a way that's so gruesome. I can barely tell you the descriptions, but basically shot and burned alive. Uh, it's just horrible. It's absolutely horrifying. Um, and we're seeing that more and more. Even though, yes, people in Iran are now have their internet back, kind of. They do have internet in a lot of places. However, it is heavily regulated, heavily surveilled and monitored. The reason, as I've been telling you, that they would open it again, right after they had several days of only having dictatorship loyalists have access, in order to spew as much propaganda as they could and as little anti-dictatorship stuff as could get out there, which some did, but very little by comparison. Um, Now they're letting now the dictatorship has spread their propaganda and fooled a lot of people into thinking, oh, things are getting better. And, people are dying down to the protests. I guess they're happy. That's their propaganda lie. Um, Now you're seeing people start to amp up the distribution of videos and reports that are quite the opposite of what the dictatorship is saying. And the dictatorship is letting that happen in part because they're trying to catch the people who are spreading this information in order to punish them for it. So basically, people in Iran who are trying to distribute content against the dictatorship have to be extremely careful, not just using a simple VPN, but using other means to secure the distribution of their content. So that's what's happening right now in the information war in Iran during the revolution. And it looks like the kinetic events may happen once all the assets truly are in place and everything else that needs to happen is ready. And it looks like there are already a lot of assets there. I believe the term used is there's an armada on the way. I believe that's the term that Trump said. That there's literally an armada on the way to help the people of Iran. Great choice of word there, buddy. I love it. And I still stick to my ETA on this whole thing happening, or at least, lighting up within days, not weeks. And I said that from from last weekend until now. It's a matter of days, not weeks. So we're getting close to that time now. We'll see what happens. Yeah, if nothing happens, if this fizzles out, it is the greatest military bluff in history, considering how much has been moved around. It's not the kind of thing you do easily. It's not cheap. And you wouldn't do this just for a bluff. If you did, it'd be a hell of a bluff. But it would also be very bad for America to do this as a bluff. So that's going to do it for now. I'll catch you guys later.